Gentlemen, how are you all doing today? We are back with more Marks of the Announce Table. We're a little late with this one. That's because I've been horribly ill. I actually missed TNA, and then I saw it in the morning, just like with Lucha and NXT and the Cruiserweight Classic. I actually was so sick I fell asleep during all that. I fell asleep during Raw, and that's like something that never happens for me. Especially because TNA, like I was really sad that I missed that. But I caught up with everything. We're gonna just go watch everything. Let me turn off my Facebook real quick. There we go. Alright. So, jumping right into TNA, we have Destination X, which is a bit of a impromptu event, not so event, which was basically the aftermath to the final deletion, in my opinion, because it's going to be very Hardy oriented, but it's also going to have a lot of surprises, something that I called right off the get-go, but something that added a twist to it that I wasn't really sure about. So let's just jump right in here. Starting off, we have Matt Hardy. He's on the dilapidated boat, right?
Yeah, on that really torn up boat.
Yeah, and he's just throwing off Jeff Hardy's shirts and stuff like that, and it is over. You know, just, I can never get.
Then Vanguard brings the last shirt.
Yeah. Apparently, it's the day after, they said, so.
Yeah, it was tape, obviously.
The android shows up.
Yeah, the Vanguard won, right? Yeah, so that's how the show starts off. Then we go into our ladder match to determine the #1 contender for the X Division title match. We got Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett, Rockstar Spud, DJZ, Mark Andrews, and Braxton Sutter. Right off the get-go, you can see like the mini feud between Spud and Sutter is great, because like, I hope it's not real beef. I hope it's literally just like something they're playing off
just
of.
Like kayfabe.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I the only one that's a real giant fan of Braxton Sutter?
He's good.
Yes.
I was gonna say, like, he's really, really growing on me.
He's not that crazy in the ring right now because it's still very green to TNA, but I think if they had him feuded with the right people, he'd be much better, in my opinion. I don't know if Spud is the right feud for him, but
Spud is not the right feud for anybody.
Yeah. I mean, if they had Spud be really serious,
If Spud was a manager, he'd be great.
Yeah.
But as a wrestler, I just don't know if I can take him seriously because he's about as big as my 12-year-old cousin.
That's sad. So during the match, we saw TJZ pick up the win, and I was kind of surprised with that one.
There was a spot during.
That's that's another guy I'm really, really big fan of.
I think DJZ definitely deserved the win, but I didn't call him actually winning it. I thought it would have been more of like a Trevor Lee or even Braxton Sutter again. So
there was a spot in the match where Trevor Lee was climbing 2 ladders at the same time, but Sutter and Andrews split the ladders up. Then DJZ came out of nowhere, kicked to the dick.
Yeah, it happens. So
yeah, there was, and you could definitely see that the fact that Spud had those braces from the mishap in the other match last week.
Yeah, so after the match, we have Mike Bennett come down and attack DJZ, saying that he's going to ruin Destination X for everybody because he's just very disgruntled and angry. And that's just how it is.
He also said he was going to burn TNA to the ground.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, and instantly he got a WWE contract. So EC3, EC3 is backstage, hyping up his match with Galloway, and it's literally going to be like a fight. It's going to be a brawl. It's not going to be like a real, like, you know, much of a wrestling match. It's going to be a fight between the two of them, which I really enjoy because that's what it needed to be. Back from the break, we got some good old Dixie Carter stuff going on, and I like her little like area of where she's at tonight, of behind the scenes. Not necessarily just in front of the ring. So it's really nice.
Yeah.
Eddie Edwards is in the ring with the X Division title. Bobby Lashley's there. They're basically talking. Of course, they're going to fight, and Lashley wants to beat him up and injure him before the match. Davey Richards returns. I called this. I was like, Davey's going to return. However, I didn't think Davey was going to be a good guy. I thought Davey was going to return and side with Eddie and screw him over or be no whatever. This isn't the match, this is just the segment, but it looks like Davey and Eddie are going to still be together through the whole Lashley thing. After that, we have some Crazy Steve stuff backstage with Abyss. They're really upset about the whole Rosemary thing. Abyss, of course, will have a match with Bram tonight. I think this match should have been a Monsters Ball match. That's my opinion, but we'll get to that. Someone tell us about the Matt Hardy segment, the one with the art exhibit presentation with Rebby Sky, Maxwell, and the whole 9 yards of family. Apparently, Shannon Moore was there. Other wrestling
you
promoters.
talking about the theater?
Yes.
Well, it was a viewing party for the final deletion with him and his friends at, well, museum, of course. So he called Rebecca for some reason before saying that Maxwell is King Maxwell from now on, because he's the king of the Hardys, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
They showed a recap of final deletion with them all, like, saying, oh, wow, during the entire match. And he talked about everyone wanting to tune into the completion of the deletion of Brother Nero.
And then the whole place started chanting delete and doing that little hand gesture.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was hilarious. It was I was crying, I was laughing. I was like, what is this?
I think the sleeper match of the night, sadly, for the second week in a row, I think, was actually a Decay match. That's the sad part. Yeah, it was Abyss and Bram just got that easy roll-up victory because of Rosemary. Distracting. Please don't break. Please
I don't understand this word, and I don't understand why they're doing this.
They're probably not going to break them up and just like Rosemary just split away from them while they're still a tag team.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Abyss and Crazy Steve doing their own thing. It's just sad to see that they're already trying to push for them to break up. But I mean, there's only so many routes they could go with this. So on to that Knockouts title match: Sienna, Gail Kim, Marty Bell, and Jade. It was pretty decent. Of course, Sienna's going to get the win. I think her beating Gail Kim and pinning her is a big thing, in my opinion. That's like, her second or third pin on Gail Kim?
It's at least the second, maybe the third.
That's a big one, in my opinion. It was a good match. Knockouts matches have been really impressing me lately. But...
well, it's because they finally learned to just put the same few people. They don't need to use some of the certain ones.
Yeah, some of the green ones, in my opinion. They can use the green ones, but they don't need to really overly push the green ones.
Like, they have the 4 that competed in this match are probably the top 4 in the company.
You guys want to fill us in about the whole Matt Hardy family dinner? I know, Mullins, you're really excited about your green beans, right?
This was hilarious. Like,
it was.
Okay, so I'll tell them about this since you don't know about the last one. So basically, like, they're all sitting there chilling, and he's like, they're all sitting there eating, and he's like, King Maxwell, pass me the green beans. And then the servant girl said, or at least that's what I'm guessing she was wearing like a suit, but she was a chick wearing a suit. And she's like, sir. And then he's like, then he tries to speak Spanish to her, and she's like, well, I'm not Hispanic. And then he's like, well, awesome, pass the green beans. And he's like, we don't have green beans. He's like, well, why don't we have green beans? They are a delicacy. Prepare the green beans. He got really impassioned about the green beans. I was like, whoa.
I know, it was beautiful.
And then he went on to say delete for a while.
Yeah, and then while he's saying delete, so the guy that was typing, he tells the dude the dude that was his butler to start typing up something for him, or writing up something, and he starts going delete, and then when he starts throwing his hand, the guy starts throwing his hand too, so it's like he's just copying every hand gesture.
Well, he's moving his line, like he's underlining it, because I guess he's writing out a personal note or whatever. It's beautiful. Back from the break, we have more highlights and crap like that, basically from Final Deletion and what just happened with Dave Richards returning. It's Matt's time now. Matt comes out. We have Rebby Sky, King Maxwell on the back of Rebby Sky. Jeff Hardy comes out. Jeff Hardy looks really sad in his, like, what was it, pink, was that a sweatshirt?
Yeah, it was like a pink hoodie.
Can I say it's a sweatshirt and get away with it?
I don't know what. Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's a sweatshirt.
Can I make the reference?
Yeah.
On Mark's the announce table, he was wearing his Jacob Sartorius sweatshirt.
God
Like
damn it.
you can wear Jeff Hardy
You
sweatshirt.
could wear Jeff Hardy's sweatshirt.
I like how Rebby Sky called him the traitorous, obsolete, evil enigma brother.
And they started chanting obsolete, which was funny.
Obsolete. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I was waiting just for Jeff to like turn around and yell at her or something crazy.
I was waiting for him to hit like a twist of fate on her.
So we got a 2-for-1 tonight. It was a Mr. Meek Mahan and a New Japan reference, like straight up New
With
Japan and
honorable
Mr. Meek
wrestling.
Mahan.
And then there was new wrestling of Japan.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. Because Matt's like, I want to get rid of you, but then he's like, I'm not gonna get rid of you because you'll go to those companies, so I'm gonna make you my mule.
Or I like how he said that you're
I
terminated.
literally thought that this was the send off for Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. He also said deletion was worse than death.
Yeah.
Oh.
Next up, Mike Bennett and Maria. They're just really angry and they're wanting a match with DJZ. It happens. DJZ wins. I'm completely cool with that actually, because if DJZ wins, that kind of guarantees that we're gonna get a DJZ X Division title reign, which hopefully will be a really nice one in my opinion, because I can see him feuding with Hura Helms and that dynasty and all that. So
Well, Mike Bennett was trying to get himself counted out, but the entire X Division locker room came out to prevent him.
That was a good moment.
yeah, because Bennett kind of figured that he's gonna lose, then he didn't, and then like the X Division was like, no, like go up there, which was nice. After that, we have some good Galloway stuff about his fight with EC3, which it was literally a fight.
Yeah.
It literally was a fight. They kind of went backstage. There was no winner for this match at all.
Actually, one of my favorite moments in this match was when EC3 called Drew Galloway his Scottish puppy dog bitch.
Yeah. There's like, okay, there was this awkward moment after the match, or after the fight went backstage and they just cut off the match. That's one of the big things that just really didn't make sense. Like, why didn't they continue it backstage? But, time restraints. We had a Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, like, awkward bonding moment where Davey's like, he wishes he was in the ring, asking Eddie Edwards how he wants his wrist tape tonight. For me, it's awkward because you get that vibe that Davey's probably gonna betray him tonight, even though he doesn't at all.
Like they definitely set it up for that.
Yeah, like you could really feel like, all right, like maybe Davey's gonna like screw him over or something like that. He doesn't, which is good. Title match: Lashley and Eddie Edwards. Dang, I want to give freaking Eddie Edwards like a big push for this. This was great. But we gotta get to the big moose in the room. And that is Moose from Ring of Honor, who has now gone to TNA. And by God, if this was a way to jump ships, like this was the way to jump ships. The TNA like fan attendance was not behind Moose. I will say that though. When Moose was doing his moose, and then the little chugga chugga choo choo
The
train.
whole crowd was doing it.
It took a while. It took a while though. Like they weren't doing it first because they were like, kind of what's going on. I don't think even Moose knew what was going on at first. Cause
it was the weirdest situation because, like, I mean, like, while I was watching, I just thought it was like, I just for some reason thought it was something going on in my background with Moose's music because it starts off very low, and I was just like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden they're like, what? And then Josh Matthews no-sold the entire debut. Like, Josh Matthews. This was the first time I can say that he might be the worst announcer in wrestling right currently.
Yeah.
Also, it looks like
no sold it. Like he's just like, yeah, it's Moose.
it also looks like they changed his finisher from a spear to a discus clothesline.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, huh. Interesting thing is
And
Moose
his setup for it is really weird.
Interesting thing is Moose and Miracle Mike Bennett are they're
Ring of Honor guys.
Not just that, but they're like kind of together when it comes to alliances, I guess you could say.
It's like ROH taking over TNA.
I don't think they should automatically have Moose in this world title picture, in my opinion.
Moose
Not at
just
all.
needs to be like what Tyrus was when he first showed
I
up.
mean, he took out the world
Well, that's
champion.
because Bennett low blowed Lashley with the greatest low blow I've ever seen. Literally just slides right in there, hits him in the
Just
crotch,
Boom.
and then discus, spinning discus clothesline, which was great. So there was no winner for that, which I think that this time it'd be okay because we kind of figured that there wouldn't be if both titles were on the line. The Moose debut was really good. I liked it. I just think putting him straight for the world title is a little risky, and having him, it's because he's literally the Tyrus to what EC3 was for Mike Bennett. They're kind of playing off of that, in my opinion.
What
But
I love the Moose debut, but like I was so hoping that whenever he was on the phone and whatnot, I was so hoping, okay, cool, he's talking to. I was hoping he was talking to Damian Sandow.
like that would have been funny.
I was so hoping that so hoping Sandow was gonna show up.
The new, or not so new, backstage personality, Mackenzie Mitchell, she did a great job running up Dixie Carter, asking her what's going on. Dixie's ticked off, and she's like, next week, Lashley at Edwards, 6 sides of steel cage. I don't know why that's gonna... Alright.
Prevent Moose.
Well, like, think about it. There's gonna be a cage.
Yeah,
There's not
prevent...
gonna be interference.
Well, I mean, Moose could easily just rip off a cage or door.
Yeah,
Like,
Moose
yeah,
is a
that's-
giant dude.
Yeah, especially
Plus
that's
he's-
how they're gonna build them. So that would be interesting. Oddly enough, the only downside tonight for me was no Billy Corgan.
Oh yeah, no Billy.
That was a weird no-show,
Yeah, where's my Billy Corgan at?
especially with how much they've been building him up.
Yeah.
He was probably attending a meeting, like trying to get money from people
He was
just
at
for
a he was
TNA.
at a concert. Who knows? So it's time for our final thoughts. Anything?
Final thoughts was this. This might have been a better overall episode than Final Relation.
I'm gonna say this. Yeah, I say this was probably better than Final Deletion. I'm gonna say that this makes you want to follow TNA weekly. My opinion, from someone who binge watched 3-4 wrestling shows in one day, TNA's the one that's winning right now, compared to Lucha, NXT, Raw. Like, I'm really liking TNA right now. I think it's definitely something that I would really want to follow.
I do want to put
weekly
out
going
there.
forward.
It takes something when my past hate of TNA. There's no surprise. There's no secret to it.
Mhm.
And this is the first time I've sat down and watched TNA from start to finish and was literally entertained the entire time.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Like there was not one moment where I said, this is dragging on," or I don't want to watch this.
So here comes the big question. Mickey Mania, how many DJZ boom, bro? Would you give it tonight?
Or like Burn or something like that. I have to give it a. Honestly, I have to give this a 10 out of 10 for everything.
Dang. Mullins, how many delicate green beans would you give it tonight?
The delicate green beans are going with 10 too. Like I literally can't find a fault in this episode.
Except for, like, I didn't pay that much attention to the knockouts match. And I paid, like, a little bit, not that much.
I'm gonna give it, just to keep it fair, I'm gonna give it 9. Actually, I'll be really nice. I'll give it a 9.5. I'll give it a 9.5. The only thing I'm taking away from was the 2 matches that were kind of back to back when it came to having no real winner, which was Galloway and EC3, and the title match. Because I think they still should have done something with the title match, even if it was, the straight up, no contest, which they didn't really even kind of declare it a no contest, I think. But I think Galloway.
Well, yeah, the referee was just attacked, so then it was just over.
Yeah, I think Galloway and Galloway and EC3 definitely should have had a good, conclusion or a good fight backstage segment. But yeah,
It ended way early again this week.
It did, yeah. I'll give it a good 9.5 Moose debuts out of 10.
Moose.
So we will see you all next.